Okay. Hey guys, I said I was going to try to do some more informational stuff on the QI and other synthesizers, so let me do this real quick. I was going to show you how I get portamento out of the QI 100. So that's it in polyphonic mode. There's not actually a button to switch to monophonic mode that I'm aware of, so what you have to actually do is go into menu and then edit on the track, and you have to insert these messages in there. There's the mono to poly switch to mono, and then the portamento switch on, and then the portamento time. You have to actually record those. So far I've only been able to get it to work in song mode, not pattern mode. And what I actually have done is either I was using another Instagram user's shoot, I'll put his name down in the description, but basically he made a little controller thing that you can hook your computer up to, so you can just push the button and hit record on the sequencer. Or if you don't have that, or you're away from your computer, you can go to edit and then on the track, and then menu, insert, and then here is kind of the pain in the butt part, and this is why you want to record it to a pattern so you don't have to do this. You go, it starts you out on note, and then you go all the way to, where is it? And there we go. You want to see XG exclusive multi. And XG I think is expanded, geez, I can't remember. But there's MIDI general, and then there's XG, and it allows additional controls to be sent via MIDI in this specification that I don't know or understand. But this is the different commands you can send, and so as you can see, I think it's like, let me see here, what is it? It starts on that one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the fifth one over, and I'm using the increment buttons here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's M/P, and you can change that from mono to poly, again with the increment buttons. And then when you've got the command that you want, you just hit enter, and that'll insert it into the MIDI timeline. So I'm going to hit enter and hit exit, and you can see if I go MIDI or menu, edit, there's another mono poly note that I inserted. So I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to hit menu and then insert, and now to do the other ones, it's in the same menu. I think it's 13 button pushes, so if you open it up, it starts you on note, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's the multi menu, and then you go, this changes where in the MIDI timeline you're putting it in. So if you wanted to put it right at the very top, you could actually use the number entry system. You push shift, sorry I'm doing this with one hand, and then push 0 and hit enter, and so now we've got it at the first beat of the first measure. It's going to put whatever note I tell it to. So now I'm going to go to increment, and I think it's like 33 or something in there, but you can change vibrato depth, vibrato delay, so that even if you have the vibrato button held, it doesn't actually kick in for a few seconds, which is nice for sort of leads. All the other sort of usual suspects, and mod wheel, pitch bend, I don't know what that is, and then we have portamento time and portamento switch. So what I usually do is I'll go over and hit enter, or I'm sorry, go use the little arrows over to the data column, and then push increment to change it to on, and hit enter. So that puts this portamento switch on command in the timeline. Then go over and increment until I get to portamento time, and add an amount like, I don't know, 25 is usually a good one for me. So I hit shift, and then while I'm holding down shift, I push 2, 5, and then enter. Now I've got data, and once I've hit the number in, push enter, now I hit enter to add it to the timeline. And as you can see, I already had some in there, so now there's doubles, but you can see that portamento switch is at 1, portamento time is at 1, and and then I've got these other two that were in here. So anyway, so once you've got that all in there, I'm going to go ahead and delete these other two. So I've got portamento switch, portamento time, and switching it to mono all in the first beat of the first measure, as you can see here. So I'm going to hit exit to leave this menu and go back to the main thing. And so it's still in poly mode right now. And if I hit play and just play that first measure now, did I not? Make sure to hit beginning of the measure, then play. Oh, I know why. Okay. This is a great important part of this. So within each command, it specifies what part, or i.e. what MIDI track we're talking to. And so right now it defaults to 1, and I'm on track 3. So I need to additionally, when I'm entering those, after I hit menu and edit, down here in the part column, I need to make sure that that matches whatever part I'm looking for. I guess another thing you could do is add any of these switches to a particular track. Like you could say, oh, I'm not going to write any music on track 16, that's just going to be my monopoly, my command track. And with the QY, there are 16 tracks per pattern, or per song, I should say. So you could feasibly just write all of those into track 16 and then not muddy your track with that stuff. And then you could, do what I just did all at once and change which parts you want. And then copy and paste those later if you want. So let's try that again. So we've got our poly working. Stop, rewind, hit play, stop, and yep. Simple as that. Yeah, so obviously that's kind of kludgy, but working with the synthesizer gives you a lot of other freedoms that you can't get from certain sequencers, and it's never free, so there's other things that you kind of lose and have to think of workarounds for. That's one of them. So anyways, if you aren't already into QIs, this probably didn't sell you on it, but if you have a QI and you're looking to squeeze a little more out of it,